May I present to you there a somewhat quirky view of the Atlantic from Portugal, just between Nazaré and Portugal's beautiful seaside town of San Martinho de Porto, where I happen to live. And there are men, oh actually there might be women, but there are paragliders, parascenders, para people, all sorts of people on various perilous aircraft, non-powered aircraft, gliding machines. Some of them might have engines, I guess, but there are a few in the sky today that you might see popping back and forth. And this could be a representation, could it not, of the human mind with thoughts flying across. And on the one hand, you could become quite attached to the backstory of each individual glider and start making up lots of stories and ideas about each glider. Or you can just let them fly across the landscape as little facts of the scene. There's one going from left to right, one from right to left, one going up and down, and not much else to say. Just a nice, easygoing awareness of what's happening in the view, and with the tree gently waving in the breeze as well. Now, today has been quite extraordinary in terms of the energetics, the dynamics, the temperature of what's going on. And I need to ask you a question. Does it seem to you that people are becoming a little bit more febrile, stirred, overwhelmed, and under pressure? And is that manifesting at a greater volume, at a greater level? It seems to me that it is, but I've only got my own personal angle. I wouldn't dare make a general, well, I do make general assumptions, I make lots of them, but in this regard, I won't make a proclamation, because I really don't know that, we're reaching a new fevered level of human anxiety. It seems to me like it's like that. I get a sense of that's what's available to me if I want it, and I see fellow human beings around me, for want of a better phrase, losing their shit. Now, are you seeing that? Is that happening to you? And then the intelligent question, I guess, thereafter is, what can we do about it? What can we do about it? And I have a particular interest in this. My agenda, my desire, is that people come back to life, and that this world of men, and in which the losing of the shit is taking place, is like an unfolding and necessary purging, like a karmic, I've heard it expressed as a karmic purging. It's all the prayers and thoughts and affirmations of everybody, all in some major, not a melting pot, more a fire, a bonfire of individual prayer waves and concerns and anxieties and wants and wishes that are all in conflict with each other, and end up in some sort of thermonuclear explosion of that particular part of our awareness, of our existence. And of course, there are flashpoints of that in various parts of the world, and always have been, where that seems to be manifested. And it would appear we're experiencing that. Well, or maybe it's wherever you are, and it comes to your part of the world eventually, and then maybe when it comes to your part of the world, it seems like the whole world's like that. I don't know for sure, but what I do get a great sense of today, and more generally in this time, is that we are reaching a crescendo, a climax of febrile, fevered, and tempestuous behavior and outpourings. It's there in the politics, is it not? It seems to be everywhere. It's the polarity, the culture war, the turbine of trouble is spinning, and people seem to be, not gladly, because I'm not sure they know that they're doing it, but people are throwing their negative energy into the spinning turbine of the darkness, really, the darkest forces of our lives and existence are being fed by people's negativity and darkness, and we haven't been taught any hygiene in that sense, that if we fill ourselves with negative feelings and we are constantly thinking and discharging negative thoughts and intentions towards others, that would create a ferment, a disastrous ferment, and not a world we might want to live in, having gone and done all of that. And we know, don't we, that another world is possible, that we know that if we don't do that, something else would necessarily occur. We can't not have an effect. So we can choose to be pouring negativity into the shared space, the commonwealth, if you like, or we can keep it clean. And it looks to me like, there's a lot of anxiety and negativity in the commonwealth of humanity, and that it would appear that seeking, attaining, or knowing peace is an individual matter within the tumultuous times in which we live. And on that note, I invite you to be that peace. It's a superhuman effort at the moment, not to react and not to be dragged down by other people's negativity when it confronts you. And it's like people on a boat, isn't it, who have fallen off the boat, and they're all trying to save their own lives by dragging each other underwater. I see that that's a possibility in the Commonwealth at the moment. And I don't mean the British Commonwealth. I'm talking about the common, where our lives overlap into the common experience of life. That does not look like a pretty place. In the affairs of men, if you like. Now, in the realm of nature and the broader cosmological picture, context, all is well and always will be. And it seems the human angle on that is getting darker and narrower all the time, until we can remember or are shocked into realizing that it needn't be that way. And we know, don't we, that sometimes it takes the most hideous of circumstances for us to come to our senses, if we don't do it by more voluntary means. So I put that to you, and I ask you, where are you right now? Are you in... I'm a little shaken by being around people who are putting out distress. And of course, as a human being, you want to help people, don't you? And we're looking at a ratio now, I think, of where people are putting out their distress, and they are in that position of drowning you if you try and help them. This is what coast guards, isn't it? This is what people learn who do water rescue situations, that person in their panic might drown you as well, and then there's 2 dead people in the water. So you have to do something. It's about, like the old cliche of putting your own mask on, and when the cabin in an aeroplane loses, the oxygen, and you need to put an oxygen mask on. You do yourself first so that you can help other people. And is that where we're at in the world at the moment? Do we really need to? I think we do need to be very careful of maintaining our own peace, because once we've lost our own peace, we really can't help anybody else, except from a place of infection and darkness. And I don't think that's that's not the greatest gift to bestow on others, is it? So I think we need each other to remind each other to stay in the peace, to stay in the light, to stay in the good, and to give ourselves leave to detach from the darkness of others. And there are those who are spreading darkness, and they don't really know they're doing it. And I think there are those who are quite committed to the dark side, who don't know anything else now apart from to be operating on that level. And there are some evil bastards, it would appear as well, who actually that is their currency and their stock in trade. I think they're very few and far between, but they are so. It seems they are so powerful and so influential that other more innocent people, if you like, and innocent bystanders and people who are just walking through their lives, they may go one way or the other, get pulled into the dark agendas of the news and politics and ideological struggle, the culture wars and all that sort of stuff that no one seems to benefit from, and justifies. It's an area in which you can justify your rage because you think you're right, and no one wins. I don't think anyone wins in that arena. So here's an invitation to you, and that's why I constantly ask this question: where are you right now? If you're in the darkness, if you're in the mire. Oh, that car went. That's interesting. The car just drove past so fast that it shook my car. There you go. That was that's a really sort of telling moment, isn't it? That's a real metaphor. That's someone going past me at great speed so fast that it knocked my phone off its precarious perch. And that's how precarious our peace is. It's poised and it's beautiful and it's delicate, and then some asshole drives past at high speed, and I have the I could have gone like, you bastard, driving so fast you knocked my phone off and you ruined my little chat with my friends here. Oh, is that upside down now as well? Let me just turn it round and right. I don't know, we're up from down now as a result of that. But you see, we have the choice again. Where am I right now? I'm a bit amused, and I'm a bit, okay, well, I've got to deal with this situation. And there you go. There you have it. A little metaphor for how I think there are more and more people driving past at high speed who have the potential to knock you off your perch. And that's why it's good to ask yourself, where are you right now? Are you in the fast car? Are you the phone that fell on the floor? Are you angry that your phone fell on the floor? Or can you pull back? Can you go transcendent on your conditions and circumstances and connect to peace and love and joy? And this is the constant work of the human being anyway, and especially so I think in these times. So Godspeed to you. And I think you can see that craft in the sky there with somebody just hanging there in the breeze, and from here it looks very peaceful, and probably up there it's like hell. I think in many ways it's probably peaceful from the point of view of the view, but it's probably really noisy as well up there, isn't it? There's a price to pay for flying that high above humanity and enjoying that transcendent view. And we've all got to do our work. We've all got to bring an act of will and effort to ask ourselves, where are we right now? And honestly answer the question, and then do something about it if we find ourselves in a condition that's anything less than optimal and beautiful and truthful and joyful and love itself. Bye for now. I'll be back.